Ooh, I'm out there. Oh wow. I'm playing with things on here. Welcome everybody. Gonna do a quick live here. Let's get the lipstick on. How does that look? All right. I know I look tired. I know I look worse for wear. It's been the last couple days packing up the store, and boy, my body is not built for packing up the store. Um, my hands were all it reactivated my wrist injury I had, so I was a little bit sore this morning. Today shouldn't be too bad. I don't think there's much to pack up today, and it's just waiting. So I don't even know how long I'm going to be there. But let's get into this. Let's get into this, people, because there's a lot to cover. um, there's just so much coming in and trying to find words for it because I see a lot of people freaking out and talking about up leveling. And it's just like all of this stuff coming out. And I believe what I see in the astrology. So we have the sun at 8 degrees, it's in Pisces. The moon is in Aquarius. So the new moon's tomorrow. And we don't want to get lost in this South Node Virgo. South Node Virgo can make us very much like this has to be done. It has to be done this certain way. If anybody's worked with Virgos, and I at one place I worked, I had a boss who was a Virgo, and I worked with like 5 other Virgos. It was like hilarious. I'm a Scorpio. So by the way, I got let go. They couldn't fire me because they couldn't find anything, but they dissolved my position, which was funny, and had to send me off with a severance package. But the thing is that I had all these Virgos that had to have things done a certain way, and if they decided to restructure the whole aisle, like I'm a holistic practitioner, so I was working at a holistic store, and if they decided this is the way this has to be done, right? This is the way that things have to be um, put together, then they get very anal about it, right? It has to be this way. And this is where you could get really lost in the South Node. And then Pisces will be the North Node can really get you to where, oh, well, whatever, let's spirit, I'm up leveling, life is great, and look at me, and become that little crazy sunflower hippie-ish type of energy. And that's what I've noticed. Like, it's like these two extremes. But we have to realize it's a movie being played right now, and we really have to be, observant with this. This is where, and especially with Mercury was on Saturn this morning, and he's like gone, thank God, because it can get you very like, ooh, and your mind overreactive, right? So a lot of people overreactive as Mercury's going forward. Are things as bad as what you think? And what's the big deal? And when I was doing my prayers and stuff this morning, this is where some of the thoughts I was having is like the devil gets you busy doing other things than what you should be doing. He gets you busy over here and gets you off on the sidelines to a point where you may think, well, why should I be doing it? And that's what they want, right? Instead of you doing what it is that you've been called to do here, whatever that is. And this is allowing a wider view emotionally for yourself and looking at things more emotionally. With Venus stopping, like she's just stopped, she hasn't gone really retrograde yet. Mars has been sitting at the same degree for the last while, like about a month. Like, he's gone for it, but he's not, he wants to go, he wants to get going, but he can't. Like, he's just doesn't have that oomph to go yet. And then we have Jupiter sitting there going extremely slow as well. And the weird thing is that we also have the sun that's squaring Uranus. So emotionally, things can feel like all over the place, and we could get, feeling uptight or feeling angry over something and be very aggressive in some ways, right? So we really have to take those spiritual moments, going back into the Pisces moments, taking those times of allowing ourselves to step back, take a moment, find the stillness, put our hands on our heart and our solar plexus. So, and things are going to be shockingly weird. Things are going to get weird. Things are all over the place. That's why I say don't get hung up. Like everybody's like, do this, buy this, go here. Look at these guys are bad. It's like, take a step back. It's a big movie that's being played right now, and you really have to take your time with it. You can't get emotionally involved with what is being played out. You have to take the spiritual realm. This is the spiritual energy that's coming in. And it is an energy that is getting us to really, really evolve, but it's not to evolve where you're going to be the hoity toity little bitch, but it's getting you to evolve to be the one that is going to do the work that you are sent here to do. It's the involvement of allowing yourself to breathe and be. And that can be very hard, especially with that self node. And we have where Mars, when it starts to pick up speed, it's going to take off. And when it takes off, things are going to start. It's like a motorboat that's going to take off in the water. Like right now, it's like pop, 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 and you haven't gone. Like if anybody's had one of those little motorboats, and with the old engine and stuff, and you could sort of like steer it, but then you could switch it where you could go faster. So right now, you just sort of like sort of putting along. We're looking at what we need to fine tune. We're looking at and surveying. And the more you focus on things to have a certain way, if you're wanting this to be a certain way, see, this is what I love. This is, I think, one of the best things I love about a Scorpio, because we don't give a fuck sometimes. We'll just go like, I love to get into details and research on things I love, but I am not I need a kick in the ass being a sloth. I am not like if somebody's over anal about something, I'll back off. That's my personality. I will just back the fuck off. You do it. Like if that's what you feel like you want to do, then you be you, baby, and you go ahead and do it. Because mama ain't fucking doing it. I mean, I'll go down rabbit holes on certain things, but something it's just like you say, like, I don't get it. At the end of the day, it is what it is. So the more you focus on things to have a certain way or look a certain way, you're going to get stress and you're going to get angry. And this is where, when we look at where Mars still at 17 degrees has not moved, this is casting out things for the long term. This is looking at what is it that I'm looking at for the long term. Today's my last day at work. So officially my last day at work. My contract ends on the 28th, and then I'm done. And I'm kind of excited about it. And I'm quite, it's a mixed emotions. I'm sad because of the people I worked with, but it's a mixed emotion of, oh, okay, let me cast out let me cast out my net and allow and trust in the higher realms to guide me. And casting out for the long term, and then Mars wants to move. So take things slow. It's okay. It's okay. So casting out the best things for us in the long term, and we'll have better, and be able to better understand it than trying to race through something that we shouldn't be racing through at this time. So we need to get on top of things spiritually in our spiritual mind. Are here I am. Are you doing your prayers and your meditations? Are you taking that serious? Are you reading some sacred text and allowing yourself to take some notes with it and get those little gems and those little tidbits that are there? Right? So this is what this time is about, because we're getting on top of things and we're in the dark phases of the moon. And it is this reminder. The last new moon we had was in Capricorn with Pluto, the final. So this is reminding us, this is looking at, especially over the last month, what the next 19 to 20 years is going to reveal for us and happen. Everything is changing in the world, and it's changing at a rapid space and a rapid time. And this is where, with Pisces, it's okay. It's okay for us to coast through it. It's okay for us to see things in a new way. And we have to trust and let it happen and not try and control the little, every little minute thing. This is like we are fine tuning the viola. And as we're fine tuning it, there's these little tweaks that we have to make so that we are coming into everything with harmony. But in doing that, we have to like allow ourselves to hear and listen to the sounds, to the vibrations, to the feelings of where we are going. And this is our spiritual value. Where is my spiritual life and where is my spiritual attunement? This has to do with your spiritual realm. The last two signs of the chart of the zodiac is us diving into our spiritual realm. It's us looking at, oh, how far, and this is like the scientific part with the Aquarius, how far can we take it? And in comes the morality. The morality comes in, the spiritual part comes in and says, you know what? I think that's a little bit too far. That's not where we're going to take it. We're not going to be doing that. That's why all of these things are coming to the surface. All of these changes in the world or the ideas in the world are coming to the surface. And this is this attunement, this spiritual alignment that's coming in, and we're tweaking it and we're hitting it within our natural vibration. Our natural vibe is coming forth. So this is huge because all the planets are direct right now, right? Until till Venus goes retrograde. And this energy is like, yeah, I want to go forward, but they're not going fast. We're thinking everything direct. We're just going to go like hell in a handbasket. We're just going to motor on. We're just going to, but that's not what's going to happen, right? So allowing us not to get emotionally about stuff. Don't get over emotional about stuff because there's a lot of sensitive emotions that are coming up. And let's get back into the harmony, right? Looking at things differently. And any issues you have now where you are not in a spiritual alignment, this is where you have to really take the look in the mirror. What are you angry about? Because that's the depths, that's the roots of your spirituality. Where you're angry, where you're upset, what's not going well, where are you just sort of sitting on the sidelines and not wanting to do the tuning. That's where you're stuck that's where you're stuck spiritually. That's that spiritual vibration. So, willing to disconnect enough to give space and see things clearly to evolve, and then you can reevaluate. This is where we're at, people. And it's crazy. It's the work, right? Nobody wants to do the little fine tuning of the viola. Nobody wants to do, they're like, oh, yeah, it's like the last, 15 years or 10 years, we've been just going around and we knew something might have felt off or we could hear something that was quite off, but we didn't really step into it. We really didn't want to take the time because we were too busy thinking that we had to build this, do this, be this person, be that person. And try to be something that we totally aren't. And now we're coming into and saying, you know what? I need to come into this harmonic energy. I need to come into this vibration and listen to the fine tuning and be that person that can look at ourselves in the mirror and say, hey, why am I so angry? right? Why am I so angry? It's like, am I angry because I'm being called to do something that I'm scared to do? That I feel that it's too much for me to do? Do I feel angry because, or upset or sad because things are changing and they're not going to be the way that I expected them to be? Whew. I'm looking at this too, baby. Mine always comes under anger. So, and dealing with that anger and dealing with that, where does it pop up? Why does it pop up that way? How can I readdress that? Right? Because yeah, how and the other part too is the comparison where we came from the last 15 years where, ooh, look at that person. They got all the likes, they got all this, they got all that. Why can't I? And this is saying, no, we got to come back into our lane and look at where we need to be going. This is our lane. This is where we need to be. Doesn't matter where anybody else is or what anybody else is doing or how many likes or whatever that they're getting. Or maybe they got the 10,000 followers or they're whatever. But this is where, especially with Pluto in Aquarius, it's getting us to realign to our truth and say, you know what, at the end of the day, this is where I need to do. This is what I need to be doing. If I'm going to get hung up that my work is not good until I get this. I might have my goals, definitely, but I have to come into that alignment of I gotta know that my vibration, my stone in the water that I throw will vibrate out to where it needs to go. Because I have to trust in God. And that's where the astrology is trusting in God in the vibration of the harmony. So, on that note, my son is here to pick me up. I'm going to send you off with so much love. And if you're wanting to get a reading or you're wanting your astro reading, get a hold of me. Astro readings will be coming out tomorrow. They're $50. They're made for you. They're based on your natal chart, and I send them straight to your inbox. So if you are wanting to order yours, definitely get on it, baby. Get on it. And may the Lord and the Lady watch over and bless each and every one of you in all that you say and all you be and all you do. Thank you for being a part of my community. Thank you for being a part of my life. I love you all. God bless, and the God is blessed. Bye-bye. See y'all.